Hello, everyone. It has been a few weeks since we last saw you all at the table today. My name is Graham, or Graham Crackers. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the channel. Here at Graham Crackers, we are all about making memories with friends, whether those are through MMORPGs, TTRPGs, or role-playing games. Tonight, we are once again resuming our bi-weekly campaign, Shards of Anarion, DM'd by yours truly. And I am with some very fantastic friends that are very excited to get into part one of the finale. And while they need no introductions, I would love to hear three things from each of them: who they are, who they're playing, and you know what? What's one fact about them that the party does not know? And also, what type of music would you like for your recap? What emotion do you want?
I'll start. Hello, I'm Truk. I'm playing Darok, the Lizard Folk Death Cleric. One thing that the party doesn't know, he believes he died and was brought back from by his deity. And so he believes he's dead. It's weird. Music. I would like something with a minor fourth in it. Something evokes the happy and sadness at the same time.
Okay. All right, so I will get that ready for when we do the recap.
Yeah, hi, I'm El. I'm playing Kier, the Tortle Wizard Druid. And something that the rest of the party doesn't know about, they abandoned a wizardry school to find their sibling Ning and are technically on the run right now. So, yeah. And for recap music, because I figured just everybody's going to do it, I want anything in drop D. Derek, go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, just a good old Pockbell's Cannon in D. Hi everybody, I'm Derek Sword. I'm playing Verban, the Knoll Ranger and Grave Cleric. Let's see, something that the party doesn't know about Verban, but they might assume, but he hasn't explicitly said, is he's totally eaten sentient races before. I mean, haven't we all? It's a Knoll thing. There's a reason he speaks Dwarvish. It's not because he was hanging out with them. But it was the Knoll thing to do. You know, again, his favorite enemy was humanoids. He kind of hunted them. It's fine. It's totally fine. He's not a bad guy. He's complex. I'll stop digging my hole deeper. I'll pass it off to Fox.
Hi, I am Fox, or TTRPG Fox. I play Brodus, our wonderful business-loving Bardlock. And while he loves business, what the party doesn't know about him is he hates the math of business. Hates math, bad at it, you know. So, yeah. As far as music, I mean, whatever. Oh, wow. That's fair. He thinks it's a secret. And moving on to Farah.
I honest and truly thought your secret was going to be that you're a bard.
Oh,
I was
no.
waiting for it.
No, that's out there.
Is it though?
You have not successfully barded this entire campaign.
I don't think I've seen one bardic inspiration. I think I've only seen Eldritch Blasts.
I mean,
I don't think I've ever seen him with a musical instrument.
First session, and he failed.
Yeah, I did.
And then never again.
Well, you know, he's not a bard of music. He's a bard of, you know, language. But, you know, he is the greatest bard in all the land.
Colorful language.
Hence the book that I have. Come on. I wrote it.
Okay. moving on. I am Pharaoh. I will be playing Sinra Stottermain, a Leonin Warlock Paladin. Something that I don't know if she has explicitly told the party in character, but she did figured out that last time she died, because she's done that once, it was a gnoll specifically that killed her. The lovely coup that slaughtered her family and everyone she cared about was perpetrated by gnolls. But she doesn't bring it up because she's not mad at Verban. So it's like,
He's not old enough to have done it.
I know.
Yeah.
She's
He's got parents, though.
not 300-year-old parents.
We're doing what the Lion King could never do. And we're making friends.
She has forgiven you.
Likewise.
Anyway, I'm Vinny. I'm playing Zadar. He's a Dragonborn rogue, and his secret is that he has an arch nemesis whose hatred for him fuels their magical powers because someone swore an oath of vengeance against him. That's it.
Wonderful. All right. So we wanted something sad but exciting for the recap. Remind me again, chat, in case you don't know, every week I give my players this generous option of, if they want to do the recap, whoever does it will get a 1d6 that can be applied at the result of a roll during the session. But if they force me, then I get that 1d6. Ratza, thank you for the follow. So whoever makes the first roll of the night is going to get a 1d4 to add to their roll. So thank you. But without further ado, let's get your sad music for the recap. And who's doing the recap?
Oh, hell, fine. I ain't scared.
Here, I can give you Ning's funeral music. How about that?
Oh, yeah, that'll hit hard. Yeah.
I think it's fitting.
Vengeance, finally. So, in the last session, we took the boats that were fixed by the dwarves and brothers, who did a fantastic job. A few of us not so trusting of boats, so cast a few spells, walk on water, breathe on water, all that kind of stuff. Gear turned into animal. Sweet. We go further down this subterranean canal. We sense that there are dark things in the water, until we get to a break, and we see that there are undead skeletons and drippy boys, and very nasty. We fight them. We succeed. Only to find out that, oh no, everything below the water is also dead. So I, being a badass, got rid of all of them. Tada, you're welcome. Everybody else did stuff too. They were great. They were fantastic. Now we have gone further into this subterranean former home of dwarves, and we are now in the abandoned city outside what is surrounding Ziggurat, which pretty sure that's where the dragon is. A little beaten, a little tired. We are going to face off against this monster, and this is canon. Definitely succeed and survive. And if anything else happens, nope. Okay then.
All Alright, you can take your 1d6. You deserve it. You earned it this time. Alright. Let's get some nice... There you all stand. Atop the set of stairs descending hundreds of feet down below, this ziggurat of ancient dwarven make, once golden, now moldered and mottled. In the distance, the sense of being watched instills a palpable sense of fear and disquiet amongst the group of you. The air is fetid and untouched for the most part. You see dust hanging, as if no living creature has stepped foot in this cavern in centuries. Beneath the stairs, it leads to a small street that leads to the ziggurat. The ziggurat is about, maybe 6,000 feet tall. It's big in this cavern. Yeah, I see the... Oh my gosh! Yes, it is huge. Hundreds of floors, potentially. What do you do? For the moment, there are no undead chasing you. The walls seem to hold in the previous cavern that you shut at the end of the citadel.
Do we see any movement in the cavern?
Roll a perception check and add a 1d4 to it.
Oh, this is gonna be decent. Okay, so it's a 17 plus 3 from the 1d4, so it would have been a dirty 20, except I have a -1. So it's a 19.
19. Okay. So, casting your gaze out below, you see untouched streets. There is no movement on it. The citadel and the ziggurat itself, nothing. However, the only sight of movement you catch is a banner, ripped and torn, probably rotten to about 2/3 of what must have been a well-made and fine banner kind of hanging on a stick outside of the ziggurat. Seems to be moving.
The banner itself is moving, not just flapping. Okay.
It is flapping, but there's
Oh, okay.
There's
So
no sense
is it
of
being
wind.
carried? Is what it?
Oh, no. Sorry, it is set in the
Okay.
ground.
It is to steal. I do not like this.
Graham, talking about like floor in here, are these like cobble streets? Is this just like dirt ground? What are we kind of talking about?
So the dirt of leading up to the ziggurat is cobbled, well-cut stone. To the left and the right, if you went off the streets, are more of a uncut stone and a mixture of dirt and natural kind of ingredients of the cavern itself.
Cool. Gross. Verban, while everybody is just kind of looking about whatnot, is going to start to like pick up bits of dirt and dust and stuff like that and start to rub it into his fur and whatnot. He is camouflaging himself. New thing I got.
Okay, so there's you said there's a banner just laying on the floor, flapping around.
Yeah, outside the ziggurat.
How far away is that? Exactly.
Hundreds of feet.
Oh, well, never mind.
Is it
That's
just
right.
like
You are basically you are standing at the top of your platform, having left the aqueducts. You have stairs going down and then a street leading all the way to the ziggurat. I don't believe you ever descended the stairs.
Right. Right. So
I'll give this for you for free. And there's only one reason I'm going to give it to you, Sidar. The flapping is unnatural. Something large is probably breathing.
yeah, like the cave, right? Breathing cave. That's how it's.
Yeah. Or
Those
dragon.
are things.
Mimic.
You know, whatever.
Yeah. Wouldn't that have been great?
I thought maybe it could be a trapper. You know, those are things that look like things, or cloaker. Anyway, I digress. Does it seem like there's any other way to approach this? Like, could we just not be on the street and go to it?
Yeah. I mean, you haven't seen the back of the ziggurat. There could be
Right.
other entrances. There could be access to the higher levels.
Yeah.
Outside of... The stairs are really the only way down unless you want to scale the wall, which you could. I think some of you have climbing gear. But those would be the two ways you would quickly see that could lead down to ground level for an approach. But you can approach from any of the four sides. Doesn't have to be on the main street.
Great. Zed's suggestion to everybody else is to not walk right up the street into the, like, let's not do that.
It's a good idea.
Yes, let's we'll approach in an asymmetric manner, maybe.
It knows that we are here.
Sure,
Maybe
but
not.
I think probably
General,
at least one of
um,
us should be going down the main thoroughfare while the rest split off.
I can
mean-
do this.
I mean, if you guys protect me, I've walked down, walked down the middle of streets before, and they haven't killed me yet.
We should
Alright,
try and hit
well-
it from as many angles as possible.
yes,
the same
every-
time.
all of you figure out who's going to walk down the middle of the street. It's not going to be me.
I mean, I
Here.
definitely can. You
Bro,
all
just-
can go faster, hide in shadows. Like, I'm just, Brodus.
You are not walking down that street alone.
Well, if you're protecting me on the sides, we're all good.
No. I can do this.
Bros reaches out a hand and he goes, "You want to hold hands for this?"
She blinks and looks at your hand. It will be hard to hold my weapon if I am holding your hand instead. Do you require this for bravery?
Bertus, what's your hand look like right now, by the way?
It is very dirty. I have not washed my hands since helping rebuild the boats.
How does it smell? Let's engage the rest of our senses.
Yes. What flavor ink did you use when you were writing in the book yesterday?
It was definitely it had the scent of lavender in it. But now it's like a lavender mixed with mud, so and
Hey.
grease.
Thank you for the first sub of the night, which means we get to test out our super special thing. Nose goes, quickly. Ooh, it's a Mexican-Russian stream standoff between Vinny, You know what? How about all three? Oh, okay. Now it's down to two of you. All right.
Uncomfortable.
Here, roll me a D100, please.
Who?
Here.
50.
50.
That's
Pretty
actually kind of
pretty
crazy.
middle line.
Yeah, 50 right on the nose.
Okay. So, Kier, as Brodus and Sinra are talking, your nostrils are filled with the aroma of your favorite food dishes from far off. For the next 24 hours, you are a masterful, magical cook who can prepare any non-living organic material into the tastiest and most fulfilling meals.
I have an idea for after we kill the dragon. It's a great recipe for dragon ribs that I know. Let's go. And I'm just
All
gonna
right.
start walking down the stairs. I'm sick of waiting.
I'm just gonna go with
Brothers, you are being very stupid, but also very brave, and I do commend you for that. Don't die. And I was kind of pat him in the forehead and cast Sanctuary on him.
All right, please remind me of that when it comes into play.
Yes.
Make
So,
my
Brodus,
quick down.
if you don't attack, things have a harder chance of attacking you.
I mean, dead things already have a harder chance of attacking me, so this is great.
Who said this dragon's dead?
Well,
Brodus will just talk it to death.
So
Tell it
anyways,
riddles.
there I was in this alternate reality where the other me was dead and I got this book.
I also like that maybe it's just them going back and forth where they can't hit each other because if Brodus doesn't land an attack, he's still under Sanctuary, so it's just 5 and then a miss.
Just
So as Kier starts walking down the stairs, her arms start to descend and her legs start to descend, and the flowers on her back turn this mottled black, and you see 4 more appendages sprout out from the back of her shell, as she goes down on all 8 and becomes a giant spider and starts skittering down and peels off to the left and is just scaling the wall now, going down into the city.
seeing that happen right in front of him, Rose is gonna see it and go, nope, and turn right back around and walk back to Verban.
Did you get scared?
Yeah.
Was the kid turning into a nasty thing?
Yep.
Okay. She's not going to do anything to you.
Nope.
Still friendship.
Nope.
If you don't walk
Ish.
down those stairs, I'm going to kill you.
And just turns a heel and just starts slowly walking back down.
There's a great
Garrok.
motivator.
Gavrok.
Hmm. Yes, Starlight. He kind of like a low whisper even for him, which is unusual.
Is he wearing armor on his top half or anything like that?
It's all more aesthetic, like his kind of like a bone mail, but it's very loose. It's more like trophies, but it's on this natural armor.
She is going to carefully reach a hand paw forward and see if he will let her place it on
doing?
his shoulder.
What are you doing?
I am thanking you. And since he didn't like stop her, she's gonna like make contact. For everything. Getting me this far. Getting all of us this far. For caring. If these are the last words that I may say to you, I would rather it be this. That you have been a good friend. When perhaps I did not deserve it.
Perhaps.
Thank you.
We'll talk after. Slay this dragon.
Let's. And she's gonna turn and start heading down the stairs.
He follows.
All right. So, Brodus, Sinra, Garak. The three of you are heading down. Kier, scaling the cave as a spider. Sidar, for Ban.
Verban is going to, I guess, go down the stairs and see if he can climb to the rooftop of one of the buildings. He is going to try to get the perch up there, but he'll kind of go building to building if he has to. He is trying to do so stealthily, so maybe I'm playing a little too much Assassin's Creed, but that's what's in my head right now.
Okay. Roll me a stealth check. You will not be able to get a shot off from any of the buildings into the ziggurat.
I think more than anything, he's trying to keep a bead on the three that are walking down the main four-way.
Give me a stealth check.
Fair.
Make advantage because you did apply camouflage ahead of time.
Okay.
Verban would notice that Kier is close to him if he goes off to the left when he gets to the bottom, because that's where she went off to.
Yeah,
He's trying to get as much of a
Which
bird's
side?
eye to keep an eye on everybody. He's probably going to lose Zed if Zed goes stealthy, but
Stealth is crazy.
what's that? 14 plus 21.
21. Noted. Let me write that down. 21 stealth. All right, Zadar.
Do you want me to roll one too? Because
Yes,
I did.
Yes, please.
And I rolled a natural 20. So that's a 27.
A 27 for here. Okay.
So I'm just like scaling the buildings and staying low near Verban. This way I can see in the dark too. So
I also should note, while Verban is moving, it's a 21. While he is like pressed up against a wall for like a minute or longer, it's a 31.
Okay. So 31 when you're pressed up against a wall?
Sure. Yeah, when he's not moving, but he's going to be keeping pace. So
All right.
just in case.
Good to know. Good to know.
And during this whole, all that shit that just happened, Zed, after he said, I'm not going to be on the street, Zed just climbed down. But climbed down with his claws and his thief ability to climb things. And he's doing the exact same thing as Verban, except on the other side of the street. And he's less concerned with the people in the street and more concerned with keeping an eye on like what's up ahead. But I will also roll stealth if that's
All right, please do.
what you'd like. Okay.
87.
Rogues,
He's
not
back.
broken in any way.
Thief advantage. Well, you guys all rolled like crazy high, so this won't be super impressive. It's only 26.
26. Okay. Good to know.
it's not super impressive. I mean, Kier had to roll a natural 20 in a giant wolf spider form to get 1 point higher, but
I had to roll 13. So it's
I'm
like-
going to make a perception roll real quick. All right. Let me just jot that down real quick. Okay.
It's a 1.
You wish. I will also say I have already used behind the scenes, not on this roll, one of my crits. Philly, Millie, Gawain, Tori, and Lurbeline.
Oh, yeah.
The dwarves with you.
all those, all those people we just ignored for the last 15 minutes.
One of them didn't get ignored. Just all the rest.
Mhm.
Follow up. The dwarves are noisy. Following behind Brodus, Garak, and Sinra in their plate armor and chainmail. Each of them grim-faced, knowing full well what potentially awaits them. Kier, Verban, Zadar, the three of you quickly move. Moving amongst the ruins of the buildings, finding perch, keeping an eye on your companions as they begin their descent along the stone stairs, long unused. Nothing seems to come at you. Everything is still. But you cannot shake the feeling that you are being watched. The air is cold, unnaturally so. Like a winter's breeze constantly rushing through every few seconds, coming from the ziggurat. Brodus, Sinra, Garak, how far are you willing to march before you stop, if at all?
I basically would keep going until something happens.
Okay.
I will use my slightly faster walk speed to be in front of Brodus, so he's not at the front.
Hold on. Just stating, your natural walk speed is already faster.
Yeah, it's like 10 higher than yours.
Good old dwarfs with their 25 movement speed. Bless their hearts.
So, I will try to position myself about 40 feet in front of those two,
Okay.
if I can.
Noted. Brodus, I need you to roll me a D20 real quick.
Just plain.
Just
Plain
plain
Jane.
D20.
Anything added or subtracted or?
I just need
Great. 18.
18. Wow, the first time you roll above a 15.
In the face of death, I can roll well.
Brodus, whether it's dumb luck or fate, you get the sense your cloak that lights you and itself on fire daily has not gone off yet.
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
There's not a lot of time left in this day. Your best
it's
guess.
okay.
So, with that check, your cloak is going to light on fire within anywhere from now to the next 20 minutes now in game.
Great.
And you'll get lit on fire if you're still wearing it.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Just wanted you to be aware. All right. Now that that's out of the way, the 8 of you continue on the cobbled streets, marching towards the ziggurat looming above you. It is ancient, old, and forgotten. As you get closer, the palpable sense of dread heightens. You can see clear as you approach the entrance to the ziggurat. It is about 20 feet tall, 20 feet wide, doors made of what must have been made of some precious metals, probably mithril, mixed with gold. The filigree along the doors are intricate, depicting the various dwarven gods. Moradin, Dumathoin, all of them, the celestial bodies kind of planted in a ring around in a circle. The doors themselves are ajar. They look like whoever was the last one to open them never shut them. They are about 8 feet apart from each other, small enough that you could fit through. Beyond is dark, imperceptibly so, as if a pall rests over the doorway and to whatever room lies beyond.
Just to clarify, that's not something Devil Sight can see through.
This is magical darkness.
Devil
Oh,
Sight.
you can see through it, yeah.
Yep,
Mhm.
both
You're
magical
right.
and
both
non-magical.
of you have that, right?
I don't.
You don't. You just have constant detect magic.
Yes.
So I got 120 feet in front of me.
Okay. So, Brodus, you are the only one to see this. Which I suppose constitutes something interesting happening. In Brodus's line of work. Beyond is a large room. Old, dusty red rugs, about 10 feet across, lead into this room that's probably like 60 feet across. Like an audience hall. At the far end of your vision, you see a throne made of gold, gems, silver, mithril, looming above the rest of the audience hall. Within are mottled and rotted pews and dwarves made of stone. Hundreds of them. Some guards, armed and ready for battle. Some civilians. Some even children, all stone. Unliving, unmoving. The soldiers seem to be running towards the throne, and at the edge of your vision, you do see other doorways. They seem to be running and locked into place, mid-stride, running back there. The rest look as if they are waiting for a sort of instruction that never came.
Hey, Sinra.
Yes.
Do you see all the dwarves?
Do I see anything in that room?
You don't see beyond the gateway, unless you have a way to see through magical darkness.
Her brow furrows and she turns back to the doorway, and I guess if she's like 5-10 feet from it, then whatever this is, she is going to reach a hand forward and like focus and cast Divine Sense.
All right, and that is Fey, Fiend, Undead,
And Celestial.
and Celestial.
Also hallowed or unhallowed.
All right, and if they are behind cover, I think that may be specified.
Yeah, if they're behind
Not
cover, you
behind
don't see
total
it.
cover.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. So, now, you don't sense any undead, which is probably the first thing to stand out to you. If they are in there, they are hidden well, or bunkered down, awaiting your groups tearing through them. But there are no Fae, there are no Fiend, no devils of any kind. But there are trace magics lingering in the air of Celestial. Something powerful was here at one point. So powerful that remnants of it still remain, but it is no longer present. This is not hallowed ground anymore. This is unhallowed.
Okay. The land itself is tainted. I can feel it.
I think I know why. The dwarves, like I was saying, well, they're all turned to stone here. And there's yeah, I'm looking right in and I see all the dwarves. Guards,
Garrok.
women, children. Yeah.
Can you do anything about this darkness?
Would it be wise to do that?
I am concerned of what will happen to us if none of us can see.
I mean, I can
Shh,
see.
Starlight. Shh.
It knows we're here. Don't be
Still.
ridiculous.
It's okay to be cautious. Even if it knows.
You will take
It
in
would
a
not.
deep
It would.
breath.
It's okay.
From the looks of it, I mean, it looks like they're running towards the throne in the center, like in the back.
Can you dispel this darkness?
I can try. But what benefits would that bring?
I
I would not be stumbling in the darkness. That seems benefit to me.
So while you all debate this, Zed's voice just kind of happens near you guys because he drank his potion of invisibility that he still has. So he is invisibly just kind of telling them from who knows where exactly. While you have this debate, I'm going to go look for another way in. And then like they'll see what he's actually doing is he's taking a little like bell out from his pack somewhere and like placing it on the ground. And then as soon as he lets it go, it just like appears on the ground, like amongst them somewhere. If you need me, just ring. And then
okay.
he fucks off to go scout.
Can I attempt to dispel said magic?
Do you have the spell Dispel Magic prepared?
I do.
Then, describe how you cast the spell for me.
Is it third level or lower? Am I gonna have to roll for this?
You'll mostly find out.
I
when
want you to describe
attempt
it,
to
and then
cast.
I will tell you what happens.
Okay. Rose kind of almost feeling the magic with inside him. He just, with being able to see through, once is almost willing it to let its guard down, to let everyone see through.
Does your spell require verbal components?
Yeah.
What language are you saying them in? Is it Common or Dwarven?
Dwarven.
Okay. As you begin to channel the inner magic, willing this darkness to disappear and dissipate, you feel the weave of magic pulling. Something fights for a moment, but it is long gone. Whoever cast this spell is no longer present. And the magic, after a moment, like a tear through paper, rips aside, bearing the audience hall, as wisps of smoke trail up away from the entrance.
See? The dwarves.
This is the grave.
As soon as the darkness separates, Kier is going to spider climb up the side of the entrance and go in on the ceiling.
Okay, noted. Much the same as what Brodus has seen. As you enter, it is about 60 feet wide, about 80 feet back. Around the 100-foot mark is where the throne is. It's in the center of the room on a dais. There are hundreds of people in here that are stone. It is hard to count them all. In the back, there are two doors that seem to lead into further rooms that are shut. Both are made out of solid stone. And look heavy. Zadar, as you begin to climb on the outside of the ziggurat itself, looking for any sort of entrance, Are you skirting around the building to get to a far side, or are you looking to stay still on the front side of the ziggurat?
Yeah, he was gonna go like all the way around the thing.
Roll me an investigation check then.
You got it.
Can't imagine the basement's 6,000 feet tall.
Yeah,
A 0.
it is a big structure.
Thick 11.
Okay. You begin to search, looking for windows, archways, any balconies that you could get to on the ziggurat itself to find purchase, I'm assuming.
Yeah, like literally any other like entrance.
It's going to take you a few minutes as you begin your climb, but at about 5 minutes, there is a balcony, which you are, able to reach with relative ease. You are about 300 feet up from the rest of the party as you kind of pull yourself over these railings of ancient metal and intricate designs. The balcony itself is about 15 feet long. It's about 10 feet jutting out. And there is a glass pane looking into a dark room.
Great. I'll take that information back around the front of the building. Hopefully they didn't run off and get real deep inside without me.
All right.
Did he
Verban.
tell us that he was? Okay.
He did.
Verban, I need you to roll me a perception check.
Based on sight?
No.
What is that? Perception. It's a 22.
22. Far off, back the way you came, far out of this room, you hear the sound of a gate smashing, of metal hitting stone.
Back the way that we came?
Yep.
What gate did we pass by?
When you exited the citadel, you dropped a gate as you entered into the room that was completely dark with the pillars.
That's right. Yep. I have no way to convey that. Because Zed is invisible. Here is a spider. Maybe he's close enough that he can like snap his fingers and try to get Sinra, Grok, or Brodus's attention.
You could try. I'll say, they can make a perception check at disadvantage or take their passive.
Yeah.
Because, you've got 5 dwarves in chainmail walking near them.
Sure.
Take passive. 18.
18. I would say Grok probably picks up on it.
Okay. He will try to convey as silently as possible with just point back to where they came and just a lot of zombies. Coffee. Washing machine. Palm tree. So every D&D party needs to just take 2 sessions and learn sign language.
He kind of raises his shield and his staff, and it's like boom, boom, bang. And he kind of looks back and kind of just shrugs.
Verban will take off his Mask of the Dead. Kind of point at that.
Oh, he'll know what that is.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's a
Looks like a
mess.
skull. Bunch of
We're being
skulls.
chased by masks. Okay.
Yeah. Chased by Jim Carrey in the
totally
mid-90s.
makes sense. He kind of looks
Somebody
back.
stop me.
He kind of looks back at the direction they came because he was thinking about just tapping the end of his staff and to produce light and go walk in. But now he kind of looks back and kind of does a soft tap of the ground with his staff. And says, Starlight,
Yes.
furry up there. It says zombies that way. Undead something. At the gates.
Have you always been calling him furry? Is this just the first time it's come up?
Yes.
They spent a couple of months together next to Ning's tomb.
Then, if they are back there,
We have very little time if they are coming. Do we go through those doors? Or do we wait for Blue Scale to come back?
I'm certain he's on his way back. He
Hard to
should be.
tell.
Well, how am I
Hey.
supposed to know? Blue
Hey,
Scale,
ring
are
the
you
bell.
here?
Ring the
Zadar,
bell.
your actual name.
No, he said to ring the bell when we need him.
We need him
Um,
now.
I guess I grabbed the bell and just kind of shake it.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
Only once. Only once, Halfbeard.
Okay, and I just drop it on the ground.
Dink.
Rolls his eyes.
Zadar, you definitely hear this from where you are. I would say you're probably halfway down at this point.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not going to give away where I am. I'm not dumb. I'm smart.
I'm
I'll
gonna
get there when I
assume
get
that
there.
he's showing up at any moment.
How long are you
Mm.
willing to wait?
Well, we've got a time limit.
Again, how long are you willing to wait?
Well,
Uh,
I need-
So, hey,
like a minute.
I
Sure.
need to look at one thing. And he kind of taps the end of his staff and lights and walks in.
Walks
Zadar-
in.
Yep. All right. Zadar, you are.
I
on
guess
your way
I
back.
follow him.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
So Sinra, Zadar will plop down, or at least you'll notice that Zadar is somewhere near and can hear you. Towards the tail end of that minute, probably like what, 30 seconds to get 150 feet. I don't know.
50 feet?
2
150
seconds.
feet. Climbing speed.
For me?
Yeah.
That's I can dash the bonus action, dash as an action, and move all 40 feet, so that'd be 120 in one
Never
round.
mind. It takes
So-
about 8 seconds for Zadar to get straight down. I'm sorry for assuming rogues were normal and not gods above us normal people and our
I
capabilities.
forgive you.
Thank you, my lord.
So while all of this is going on, Tyr would have waited like 30 seconds and seeing nobody come in the door is moving through the chamber on the ceiling towards the back.
All right. Noted. Are you moving stealthily at a slower pace, or are you just
Yeah.
going
Oh, yeah.
full throttle?
Nope. Stealthily.
Okay.
And as a giant wolf spider, I have 60 foot of dark vision and 10 feet of blind sight as well. So
Noted. So it'll take you about 12 seconds to get to the other side of the room. If we're being generous, about 18 seconds if you're being slow and stealthy. Again, you have 2 stone doors that are shut, preventing any exit from this room into any further buildings. Probably can't open that as a spider. Maybe,
what
I
you
don't know.
think? I got a +1 to my strength. Yeah.
You might be able to. Brodus, Garak, as the two of you enter, you see much the same. The room is quiet. The statues unmoving. The throne at the far side standing alone with no king and no crown.
I want to, as we pass down the center, which is assuming at least I'm doing that. Whether Grok's doing that or not, I don't know. But I want to be scanning the kind of ruined pews and statues on the left and right side to see if I see anything besides just like pews and statues, like anything out of the ordinary.
Okay.
Or anything that stands out.
Kier stands out. They are about 60, 70 feet in front of you on the ceiling. There are 2 stone doors. Kier's right there. Roll me a perception check or investigation, your choice. I think.
Oh.
Let me guess, it was a 3.
I'm just going to use a crit just because I want to.
Okay. All right. Using a crit for anything interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So, what would you constitute as interesting for Brodus? Would it be papers? Would it be gems, treasure, weapons?
It'd be more like any papers or anything with, symbols or sigils or anything that kind of stand out that are different from what I would associate with dwarves.
Okay. As you approach the throne, around 80 feet into the room, the old dusty rug ends, and you are left with this marbled floor. It is covered with probably like inches of dust. But taking a moment to kind of scuff your shoes, there is a circular etching into the floor itself. It is large. It looks to be maybe 15 feet by 15 feet in radius. And roll me a Arcana check, if you would be so kind.
Fuck.
You want to burn another crit?
Oh.
It's your choice.
I guess what my Arcana. Oh.
I mean, you already burned
That's-
one to notice it. I mean, it's probably not that important.
Dose it him.
I mean, no, I'm not gonna burn my other crit that early. 9.
9. Okay. So, these are intricate drawings. Probably nothing special about them that you can tell. Could be interesting stonework. Could be magical, but probably not.
Okay.
Very hard to tell with most of it covered. At the very least.
Okay.
I would say Garok, with your passive perception, you would notice him scuffing the floor for a little bit, for a few seconds. Sinra,
Go ahead.
Sinra, Kier, what are the two of you doing? I know Sinra's waiting on Zadar. Kier's at the door. Kier, is there anything you would like to do with the door? And Verban?
Yeah, I'll try and spider push the door open.
Okay.
I don't give a shit.
Give me a attack roll or strength check. Your choice.
Shit. That's no good.
Do you want to burn a crit?
Nope.
Darn.
Got something very specific in mind for my crits. You can grade off.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. My bad.
Try to get us to burn them before the boss. Come on now.
Hey,
Would I be
try.
able to see Spider Kier trying to open this door?
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to lend a paw.
All right. 8 action or just trying to open the door?
I am thinking that my strength is probably better, so maybe just go save your weird strength. I will try this.
I'll skitter above the doorway and just kind of stare down at Verban.
A lot of eyes. Yep. Okay. Okay. So just strength.
Yes, please.
So 19.
19. You dig your nails into the stone and find an easy grip along the edges, pulling as the stone inch by inch gives way. The next room, because all of you have dark vision except for one of you, is filled with statues. But there's one common thing they have. These are soldiers. And they are not facing towards you. They are facing inwards, deeper into the ziggurat. All of them behind shields with spears raised. Frozen in place. The room itself is about 80 feet. It is a full battalion of dwarven soldiers. On the far end is a singular gate, with ichor dripping down the edges, and shadows licking out from underneath the gaps of the door. There are solid chains of mithril wrapping around the doorway. The gate itself is large, if we're talking mechanically.
I found a back entrance, by the way. Zed's voice, wherever the most concentrated number of people are, that's where Zed's talking.
So Sinra would probably hear you because she's at like entrance. Probably Brodus and Garak as well.
You're already in there. I've been waiting for you. She's gonna turn and stomp inside.
So Kier is going to continue along the ceiling through this room to the gate. And we'll do that spider like drop from the ceiling and flip halfway and land on their feet thing that spiders do sometimes. It looks like it's locked.
Not only does it look like it is locked, this thing looks chained. Kier, roll me an Arcana check.
Oh, let's get these out of the way right now for sure. That's a 9 total.
9. Do you want to use an inspiration?
Nope. Will not bait
You know
me.
what? I'm feeling generous. I'll give you one of my inspirations.
I was gonna say I'm happy to roll and just tell Spider Kier what she's missing.
I mean, if you'd like, I do have two inspiration, and I don't think I'll use them.
No, because looking at this gate and everything, Kier is going to pop out of their spider form. So their limbs will descend and the extra 4 will go back to form her shell as she stands up to her full height and kind of look back at the rest of them and, well, there's no turning back now, and is going to take her wand out and slam it against the gate and cast knock.
Okay. Let me look up the spell real quick.
I think it's just like Kier and
Super
Verban
loud.
in this room, by the way.
Oh.
Choose an object. The object
Gotta
will
be so
a door or
loud.
box. A target that is held shut by a mundane lock or that is stuck or barred becomes unlocked, unstuck, or unbarred. If it has multiple locks, only one of them is unlocked.
But Brodus is only a warlock now. He has become
Choose-
unbarred.
Yes. If you choose a target that is held shut with arcane lock, the spell is suppressed for 10 minutes during each. Okay. So, one of the mithril chains, there are 2 in total, falls, and the door shifts slightly. You feel the sensation of something magical happening, but you rolled low on Arcana, so I don't know what to tell you there. But
Well,
you
if
feel
only one of
something
the
magic
chains-
happens. Only one of the
If
chains
one of the
falls off.
chains falls, I'll do it again.
Okay.
I don't care.
Second chain falls, and the door is standing. The gate is standing there, unheld.
Is that the actual look on Verban's face right
Some doors are meant to be locked, L. Verban is fighting the ranger and the grave cleric who's like, I might need to save somebody from death here in a few seconds. Versus like, how many of these fucking dwarves is it gonna take for me to hide behind?
All the statues.
I will
Whoa.
look at Verban and then try and walk through the gate.
All right, wonderful. What is
I want to
everyone
kill a
else
fucking
doing?
dragon.
You know, I'm gonna give you guys 10 seconds each to tell me what you're doing. Starting with you, Zadar. Kier is walking towards the door.
I'm gonna go back into the other room and just listen to whatever the hell happens.
Okay, noted. Brodus, what are you doing?
He's recovering from being nauseated from seeing one Kier turn into Spider Kier and then Spider Kier turning back into Kier. Just that description is no.
Fair. Sinra.
Can I see them from where I am?
You absolutely hear the sound of heavy mithril chains hitting the ground in a room.
Okay,
that
I
is
don't know if
ghastly
I would
silent.
I don't know if I could identify exactly what that was just from the sound of it.
You also hear a door
Mithril
kind
chains.
of like uncreak. It's like,
Okay. All right. I would like to book it towards the extremely loud sounds. I don't know.
Rock.
I'll head over that way.
Is Zadar still invisible?
Yes, absolutely.
So he would actually look around when he did mention a different entrance, and begin to ask how long it would, and then suddenly hears a large noise of things falling. And he kind of like just wide open, just look over at the noise, and he not even like tries to hide. He just runs right into that room and guns a-blazing.
Any last minute spells you'd like to do? I'm gonna give you this one option, this one chance.
We good.
Consider this
Right.
your surprise round.
You know what? I would like to cast Bless at second level on the 4 people that I can see right here. So myself, Garak, Kier, and Verban.
Okay.
What about all the dwarves you care so much about?
They're back there. We're up here.
I will say the 5 dwarves follow you in.
Does that
Cool.
last minute spell thing go to me as
No.
well?
You're the
Aw.
catalyst. Your move was I break the chain and walk in. That was your action. Verban, last but not least.
Can we see what's beyond this
No,
gate?
the door has
that-
not been opened until Kira opens it. It is unlocked.
Okay, but Kira's opening the door, so that means that's total cover. I got oh god damn it. Okay. It's dark in here, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Alright. I will prep a spell.
What spell are you prepping?
I'm prepping daylight.
Okay,
Ooh,
noted.
lovely. I one for the back.
All right. Here. The gates move surprisingly easy. As with a slight push, almost as if waiting for someone like yourself to open them. They swing open at your merest touch. Your clawed hand merely grazing them as they open into a small stone tunnel. It is about 5 feet wide, covered by rocks that form an overhang about 10 feet tall. It curves for about 15 feet, and that is as far as your vision takes you. The floor is coated in that black, thick ichor, almost tar-like. The walls themselves, the stone, seem to emanate and drip with the stuff. And there are skulls embedded in the walls themselves, staring at you.
So I will say that when Kira came out of her, I forgot to mention this because she doesn't have dark sight, would have touched the tip of her wand that she used to cast knock and put light on it, so that she could see what she was doing when she was unlocking the door.
The Skarok already had it too.
Oh, okay, cool.
But 2 people, that's fine.
I'm gonna start walking forward.
Wonderful. If you would all turn your gaze to roll 20.
It begins.
It begins.
Ooh.
And so it ends. I would like each and every one of you to roll initiative, including Zadar.
Are we coming from top right?
So you are in the
Bottom
bottom
left.
left.
Bottom. Oh, sorry.
Beautiful.
I haven't
Bottom.
positioned you, but if any of
Okay.
you would like to
Ooh.
place your minis before this line, here will be in the front. Depending on how you enter, that is going to dictate.
That's a 23 for me.
23
initiative.
for Kier. All right. Do. Alright, so I've got Verban, I've got Kira, I've got Grok, I've got Zadar, Sinra.
16.
16 for Sinra.
I'll need to add 1 to that. So 18.
18.
Okay. Reminder to Garak, Kier, Verban, if you didn't use Bless, you should.
Oh, yeah. Which is a 1d4, I believe, correct?
Gladly. Before. Ooh, 22. Take it.
And last but not least, 15 for the dwarves. Alright, I'm just gonna sort this and Kira with a 23, Verban with a 22, Garak with a 22. We had a 3-way tie of 22s.
Combo attack.
We'll say, I think Garak's dex score is also higher, so then Zadar with an 18.
I figured we'd just form a Voltron like
Just-
being.
Yes.
Then Brodus with an
Oh, from
18. Sinra with a 16. Dwarves with a 15. Perfect. Any issues with that? Hearing none, sounds like we can, Nope, that's not the song I wanted.
All happy-go-lucky.
Yeah. Maybe Sleeping Dragon. Sounds threatening. We'll see. Not threatening enough. This needs to be scary. There we go. Kier, you step forward, unafraid, untethered. Your fury hath no rage, like a sister who lost her sibling to a damn dirty dragon. You round the corner, coming into a massive cavern that you can see, what, 60 feet? With light?
2020.
2020, yeah. So I probably can't even see it.
You see a massive cavern and a pillar in front of you. Nothing else of note. You hear the sound of chains in the far off, somewhere in the room. The clink of coins. And the sound, I will say this, about 100 feet, actually 165 feet-ish, to the right you see a dull purple glow. Kier, you have inspiration
Yep.
from chat. And top of the order, Kier, what are you doing?
Kier is just going to... Oh, what's her movement? 30 feet. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. As she kind of boldly moves forward, she's going to toss her wand into the air for a second and quickly reach back and pluck 2 flowers off of her back that turn this like mottled green, and she tosses them out beside her and catches the wand as 2 more images of her pop into existence as she casts mirror image.
Wonderful.
And that is going to be her turn because she can't see shit.
Wonderful. That's where we're going to take our break.
Right.
As, let me,
It's about to pop off, y'all.
So it's 3 clones, correct? Mirror image?
I have it up, yeah.
I think it's 3.
Yeah, 3. Sorry, so she picks 3 flowers and tosses them off
Wonderful.
to the sides as they meld into duplicates of her.
All right. So we will be back, let's say, 10 minutes? We'll be back in 10 minutes, get some snacks, get some stretches in, and get some water. And we'll see you soon. Hello, everybody. We're back after our break. I hope you got some water, got some snacks, and got to stretch, because you're in for the long haul as we pick right back up. Whew, all right. Kier, you have just run into the darkness and summoned 3 illusions of yourself. Verban?
Oh, I'm up already. Okay. Yeah, so
So you have 120 feet of vision?
yeah, I believe that's right with the eagle eyes.
So,
So
at the tail edge of your vision, I think, you would just barely be able to see something that Kier does not. A set of 4 statues, each standing, solid stone, holding a door shut. It is wrapped in chains, but where the 2 doors meet is dented. And you can see dark hands and eyes and fingers trying to pull at it.
dented like something was trying to go through from our side or from the other side. Cool. Okay. Well, hey, that makes it easy.
One last other thing.
Yeah, go for it.
Because I said I was going to make this a complicated fight. To the far right, at about 100 or so feet. Actually, you don't see this. Never mind. You see a purple glow, though, so I'm assuming it stands out. With your passive perception, you see a glowing purple mist on the floor and a mirror.
Okay. Well, we have established so far the mirrors are just great. I think he'll very quickly just relay that to everyone behind him, and then seeing numerous Kiers, he is going to try to catch up. So let me see if I can just click the right thing here. So what is 5, 10, 15, 20, let's say 30 right there. And then he will try to, the best of his ability, relate what he saw to the mirror and purplish stuff to the right, and the doors being held closed. And he was saying, those doors probably should stay closed until we figure out otherwise. I don't know which of you to look at.
We'll see.
Grok.
Doesn't even like turn to look at Verban. You just hear that over your
Could at
shoulder.
least one of you look at me?
Grok's, having seen both of them before, he's going to learn his lesson from previous fights and get out ahead. Yeah, and Kier and Verban will see a just a roundabout way. See Grok kind of pass around them as he's going to head all the way to a spot on just barely on the other side of the rock ahead of him. He's going to dash and get to that point.
I totally forgot we could dash.
And Grok, you have dark vision, right?
He does not, but he has. He only has his light spell 2020, and that's it.
That's okay, because it can see you. It is dark vision. So.
What is the light in here like?
It is complete darkness outside of any light that you are all providing. And the light of the portal of that purple glow, it's about a 20 feet glow around that, the bottom right. Outside of that, there is no light.
Okay, he'll see the purple glow, but he's not really interested in that. He's just trying to look around, kind of like huddle up to the rock as best he can, but he's not really trying to be too stealthy. He just wants to get out there. And that's the end of his turn.
So you finally arrive. Come to face death. Well, come, little ones. I can taste your fear. Alright.
Can we tell what direction that's coming from?
Oh yeah, north. Like,
Okay.
you can't pinpoint it, but it's coming from north. As it speaks in this grating, dark voice. Let's see here. You hear the sound of a heavy chain. And the sound of something monstrous moving. The sound of wings unfurling large. They flap once and you feel a gust of cold air flood the room. The clink of coins scattering along the floor. You feel the ground shake as claws dig into the stone, pulling this monstrosity up. Unseen. But it can see you perfectly. And in quick succession, you hear the sound of snapping chains and the smashing of statues in the distance. And then almost a sigh, but it's less of a sigh of relief and more of growing overconfidence. And it begins to move towards you. And for its move, it is going to use Frightful Presence. Everyone in 120 feet of it, which would be Kier, Garak, Verban, Millie, Philly, Brodus, Sinra, Tori, and Lurgaline. I want all of you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh,
You don't
yeah.
have to be able to see it.
Everyone in this clump gets +3.
Each creature of the dragon's choice that is within 120 feet of the dragon and aware of it.
Okay.
And all of you are aware of it.
I'll use a crit to succeed.
Okay.
I got advantage on this bitch.
Everyone that's within 10 feet of me gets +3.
Okay, +3 for Brodus and the dwarves. Alright, Millie...
And a number of us still have bless, by the way.
Millie succeeds. Philly succeeds.
Oh, right.
Lurbaline succeeds.
Actually, hold on. I might.
Tori does not succeed.
Get that crit.
What are you
Well,
using the
unless
crit
a
on?
26 fails.
No. Anyone that is below a 16. Anyone below 16? Brodus, you
31.
muted.
Nope. I'm good.
Okay. I'll put a little icon here.
Nice try.
Tori.
Hey, it's good, no wreck.
So, Sinra, you see Tori, who is standing right next to you, go rigid as the dwarf stands still. Hands shaking. This dwarven fighter who has seen countless battles, unnerved. And let's see. I don't think 15-foot reach? No. That's all it's going to do for now. Sidar, you are not in the room.
Yeah, how many feet away am I from?
I'd say
this
180,
room?
maybe.
From the entrance
Oh, from the entrance of the Ziggurat, or from the entrance
to the chamber of the dragon.
Oh, 5 feet. You're on the battle map. Sorry, I thought you had
Oh,
run
okay.
back into the original throne room area.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
yeah, I
so
meant to
then you
where I
have
wanna be.
you have 90 feet to get to the door.
Okay. I will go that 90 feet, be at the door, and then I am where I am on the battle map.
Yep.
Okay, so that's 40, 80, and then I have to double. No, I don't want to double dash. So it's 40, 80, and then So actually, I will go 80 feet. I'll use my action to dash and then my bonus action to hide. Do I give a shit about hiding? I don't give a shit about hiding. I'll dash. And then I'll go 10 more feet, and then I have 30 feet left. So Zed will come like climbing as fast as he can along like on the rocky wall, it looks like we have here. And yeah, just get like I don't know, how high is this tunnel that is at the entrance here?
It is about 40 feet tall.
Okay. So he'll be like 20 feet up.
All right.
And he'll just
move
be
your character where they would be.
climbing around.
Okay.
And then he'll just be up there, just looking for whatever's going on. Can't see it yet.
All right. Brodus, you are up. Sinra on deck.
Just for clarification, is any of this out there difficult terrain?
No.
Okay. So then I am going to action dash and get right up behind this rock. And when Bros gets behind this rock area, he wants to actually one back, but hide as best as possible, understanding it's not like an actual stealth, but like kind of be up against the rocks.
I mean, you haven't taken action. Would you like to make a stealth check?
Well, I did move
Oh, you did the
and dash.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Nope. So you are good.
But essentially pressing up against the rocks.
Okay.
I will also be dashing. Yeah, sure, that looks good. Hello. As I rush forward, drawing my double-bladed scimitar, of vibrant flare of sickly green light kind of goes across it. I would like to use my bonus action for what is it called? Harness divine power to get a spell slot back.
Okay.
So got a second level spell slot back. That is everything I can do.
All right. Bring us to the dwarves. Tori is going to just end their turn and remake the save. They fail again, so they're not going to move anywhere. They're probably going to run away, is my thought. So Tori's going to run back out, dash. They're 25 feet off. The rest of the dwarves, I think, are also going to take the dash action, because they can't see this. They can see the creature, but okay, 25. Okay. So, Millie is going to move 25 feet towards Kier. Philly follows. Lurbeline is going to dash and move to the far right. And Gawain is going to get to there, because they're dwarves and they're not fast. But, Millie and Philly both are going to fire crossbows at the dragon. And I'm going to use 2 of the crits that I said I would give the dwarves. Out of their 3. And roll damage. The first arrow strikes true, or the first quarrel, I should say, strikes true, slamming into this unseen shadowy mass, dealing 28 damage. And the second one dealing 18.
All right, good campaign, everyone. Good job. Good job.
It's almost below 400 HP. Thanks, retweeters. I appreciate it.
I'm supposed to tell us that, Graham.
I could be lying.
That's fair.
In response, the dragon is going to beat its wings. Actually, no, it's not. It's not going to do that. It's going to make a perception check. Okay. As it gets struck, it roars out in fury. And then begins to cackle and laugh. Firing from the dark, 2 can play that. And almost as soon as this guttural voice leaves, a pool of tar begins to form. Behind Sinra. It is about 20 feet as the tar begins to churn and roil, grasping at your feet. I need a strength saving throw. From Sinra.
Okay. That's gonna be a fail.
All right.
Oh, wait. Can I do a thing?
I don't know, can you?
Let me just...
Lots of things.
You know what? I'm gonna use an inspiration on this.
Okay, roll
let's call that doing a thing. Okay, this feels a little better. So it was gonna be like a 7. Instead, it's gonna. Oh wait, no. It would have been like a 9. Instead, it will be a 29.
20, yeah. You are able to avoid being pulled down into the tar, as the tar, like grasping hands, begins to pull and tug at your armor. Kier, you're up.
Scary.
Cure is going to. I'm going to move. Actually, I'm going to dash too. I'm going to dash out to there and just yell out into the darkness. That's not fear you smell, it's vengeance. And that's my turn. Because I still can't see it. So.
Sounds like a personal problem.
You know, Graham, I love how you keep just measuring over the top of my head.
Hey, I'm just measuring. Ben, you are up. Garak on deck.
To go with what Kier just said, and probably a little bit of Brodus, and he is going to load a trick arrow, which is just how I'm flavoring the spell. He is going to cast daylight. So he's basically going to fire a flare over top this sumbitch. Let me just double check that I'm pretty sure we've got enough room here. Nope, I don't want to move you. Stay where you are. No, also another big thing. There we go. Oh yeah, we're good. We're good. So yeah, basically just firing in an arc and going to illuminate this dragon.
Wonderful. I haven't described it, have I?
No, because it's been like in shadow, which that is magical darkness of level 3 or lower. It is dispelled.
Yeah. So your flare begins to light up the cavern itself, showing piles of dwarven gold cast in the far left, 2 statues turned into stone holding these chains that seem to be wrapped around the left wing of the dragon itself. Holding it. A chain discarded in 2 smashed statues to the far side. The dragon itself is as dark as night, ichor dripping from its maw, its wings with holes filled in by filaments of tar and ichor. Roll me a perception check.
Plus a net 20, baby. So that's like a 27.
27. Okay. Verban, in the briefest of moments where you catch this creature with the light, beneath the ichor, there is a spot where you see the glint of silver scales.
Okay. Huh.
Anything else?
Yeah, I think especially noting that, you're just gonna make a little finger gun and cast Hunter's Mark. I got you.
Alright, Grok, you are up.
Now you see that this entire cavern, 120 feet of gloriness, of light. You can actually see it's like, oh no, it's the dragon. I've seen worse.
In my
We
life
can all see
story,
it, and
led
nobody
me
is
here.
scared anymore.
Yeah. So you would see the mirror, the portal of light glowing and shimmering in the far corner on the bottom right. You would see the gate with the 4 statues, each pressing to hold it shut, unmoving. And then the 2 statues in the far corner holding the chains.
Graham, about the gate where the statues are holding it shut, does it open up or down?
Looks like
Or-
it opens out,
Out. Okay.
but
yeah.
they are pushing it in.
Okay. Got it.
And there is kind of like a 2-inch dent where the 2 boards of the door meet that have been pulled open. You can see scraggly hands scratching at
Okay.
it, pushing and pulling, and like green eyes. Indescribable horrors is what I'll call them.
From the looks of the map, to me it looked like a trap door, so it went either up or down instead of in or out. But got it.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah,
I don't have a lot
there
of
you go.
It's like a
doors on
Jurassic
120.
Park.
Yeah.
It's a full-on Jurassic Park with 4
Yeah.
stone dwarfs holding it close.
Yeah, got it.
Grok.
He is going to going that way. So in an instant, he's going to face this dragon. He's actually going to step up a tiny bit, and he's going to tap his smack his shield pretty hard, and he says, "Null will have his day today." He's going to cast Spirit Guardians as a swirl of just spirit skulls just seem to just vorpal around him, his body, and just go out from his shield itself.
All right. Anything else?
That should do it.
Okay. With a shrug and another flap of its wings, the dragon wrenches their body, and you hear the snap of another chain as the two statues holding it shatter from the force. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Let's just move that real quick, because they aren't here anymore. They can't help you. And the dragon begins to move right towards Sinra. As it gets towards you, Sinra, it isn't even flying. This thing is going on all fours. The ground shaking as as its wings unfurl. It goes to bite at you, faints, and its neck, serpentine neck, curls to face towards the pillar. Verban and Kira and Grok. And it opens its jaws and breathes. Oh, whoops. 60 feet. There we go. Oh, Kira, you might be safe.
I don't think I'm in there, bruh.
I think you're safe. So I need Brodus, Verban.
Do I have any bonus for being behind the rock?
Yes, I will let you make this save at advantage.
Okay.
Aw.
But I would like a dexterity saving throw from all three of you.
Gross. A good old 5.
Would you like to use a crit or an advantage? This may save your life. Yes? Okay. Crit or advantage.
Oh. I'll use a crit.
Okay. Verban?
I used an advantage, so I got a 24.
24. And Brodus.
Hmm.
You already had advantage.
I already had advantage, and I'm gonna take the hit
Okay.
and just hope I can stay alive. Maybe.
Okay.
Well, at least you're one of the tankier classes, like Bard and Warlock.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Brodus, you take 40 cold damage.
Oh, I'm still alive.
Everyone else that saved you take half. As this dragon lets out this spew of frost, rhyming the ground and the tar even freezing itself. Brodus, you thought the stone could save you, but the stone freezes around it. Your arm and your shoulder nearest to it, freezing attached to it as it bites through your armor. Verban, Garok, you're able to desperately dive to the side, missing ice spikes that erupt from the ground in front of you. And that is its turn.
Well, trust the
Sidara,
shield.
you are up.
Verban just shouts out, "It's silver!" Don't know if that helps.
Dead.
Silver.
Doesn't feel like that helps.
Ow.
It helps, Grok.
That's gonna be. He's gonna think like, all right, I just saw this thing do its breath, so I got time to sprint across the battlefield. So he's going to do just that. He's gonna like climb up around this dwarf over here, and he can see, I assume, the glowing thing on the right, the weird portal thing.
The portal and the mirror.
You can see the mirror too. Does the
Yep.
mirror look like any other mirrors you might have seen before?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
desperately and definitely does look like one of the
What was-
mirrors that you have seen before.
What was the deal with those again? We
They
were
led
supposed
to a
to
different
break
plane
them.
Of existence.
Yeah, shit.
With the
You
scary
could
guy.
smash them. You could also potentially escape through them. You could also potentially leave to another existence altogether. Or something might come through them.
And there's some weird magic shit happening in front of it,
Yes,
which that definitely wasn't going on before.
that's been going on the entire time.
I mean, the last time we saw a mirror,
Oh no, that
there
is
wasn't
yeah.
like a thing happening. Okay. That seems important. Everyone else they can probably handle the dragon stuff. They'll be fine. So Zed's going to dash, and then use a bonus action to also dash as he like runs up along like this rocky edifice or whatever's going on here with the water on top of it, and just kind of goes sprinting towards the portal on the other side of the cave, away from where the dragon is.
All right. The dragon is going to use a legendary action.
Denied.
Sinra, does a 16 hit you?
No.
Okay. Well, that's it. That's it for them. Brodus.
Oh, but it's trying to hit me. How
yeah.
different.
The gall.
Let's see. I really just want to go. Yep, I'm going there. I'm dashing.
Brodus is like, I'm gonna open this door.
No. I'm dashing to the door. I don't know what's gonna happen then, but I'm getting there.
Okay, noted.
Scary.
As you get there, the dragon unfurls its wings and is going to buff it. Sinra, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, as it is going to use its last 2 legendary actions.
Man, this thing like just doesn't like me or something. I think that's just a success, I'm assuming. 21.
21 will save.
Cool.
All right. Sinra, you are up.
Cool. So this thing that keeps like trying to hit her or whatever, she's going to like, after shifting her footing to dodge that attack, and then also like hunkering to not lose, to not topple over, she's going to take a step forward and then kind of like push off and try and like leap up sort of like onto the thing if she can.
Can't end your turn on it, but I'll let you leap onto it. But you have to move off 5 feet another way.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Then she's going to leap up onto a dragon.
Yeah. I can do it.
And make some attacks. I would like one of them to be one of my crits.
Okay.
Okay, so for the crit, is this thing an undead?
No,
Okay.
it's a dragon.
Obviously.
Dragons
question.
can be undead, Graham.
It could be an undead dragon, but this is a dragon.
It could be. Okay. But I'm still gonna smite its
Lay it on.
neck.
All right, so 1 is a
700
crit,
damage.
and then how many attacks? Are
And
you making?
then the other one is going to be, let me just figure out if this hits or not. Does a 17 hit?
That will not hit.
Okay, I didn't think so. And then for the third attack with her bonus action, does a 25 hit?
That will hit.
Awesome. Okay, so 1 crit and 1 regular hit. Cool. I don't have enough d8s for this. Give me a second.
Isn't that always the worst?
Oh, darn.
Why can't I hold all these dice?
First world.
I think that is...
Brodus, you have inspiration from chat. Hang in there.
The gall.
Where is...
It's like that inspirational cat poster, except for it's Brodus.
I once was an adventurer like you until I realized I might not be qualified for this lifestyle.
I do love the image of Brodus just like hanging desperately from a rope, like, hang in there!
Sorry, I'm doing math.
Oh,
It's
good.
just-
we can
it's
move to the
just a
dwarves while you're doing math if you'd like.
It's just a series
sure, I'll
of
get back to you
posters,
on
by
that.
the way.
All right.
He's naked in all of them, which is the weirdest thing.
All right.
100.
You can tell that he's naked, but it's also like his first day at work, and it's just like his worst nightmare.
And the bottom of his foot's glowing.
Right.
Philly.
It's like, I know this poster is supposed to make me like feel hopeful, but it really just makes me sad.
Flurbeline.
There's one hanging from a rope, one
These
Him
dwarves
almost
with their
falling
50
in-
feet movement.
one
They
almost
always
falling
dash
into an
action,
acid
so-
pit.
Millie and Philly, seeing this dragon getting struck by Sinra, rush to, draw some of its attention, getting behind their shields, and, Millie with her flail getting right there. The other dwarves seem to be catching. Let's see, does Tori safe? Nope, Tori's... Nobody knows where Tori went.
Aw.
Tori's just out of the air.
70.
Tori will deal with the undead that are coming
Exactly.
at our back.
That's what I'm waiting on.
Yeah, Tori's gonna tank the exit. All right.
Sinra, as she comes up and slices into this thing's neck and then tumbles back down to the ground, she's gonna smite once at max level and then another time. Wait, no, you can't do it twice, can you?
For what? Smite?
Smite twice in a turn?
I think so. I think you
Okay.
can't divine smite twice. You can divine smite once, but I think you have to use a spell bonus action spell for the second one.
Okay, then I can't do that. So that will just be.
Vinny, am I right?
That's 10.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
So that's gonna be 60 damage.
I'm pretty sure you can do your paladin divine smite all you want. The smite spells are bonus actions.
Okay. So you can divine smite them both.
Okay, so.
Oh yeah, you can use a spell slot whenever you smite.
Okay, so that is 70 then. And as she tumbles down after slicing into its neck.
Got it.
It roars in fury. And as it does, it stomps its right claw into the tar and ichor, splashing it up, and as it does, hundreds of diminutive dwarven skeletal hands begin to reach up from the floor itself, grasping and grabbing at you, Philly, Millie, and Gawain. I need all three of you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, it's something stupid like a 26. I don't know.
All right, so you save.
Paladins.
Both of the dwarves fail. And, I forgot to roll for Gawain. Gawain also fails with 3, which is a 6 total. So they are going to take a number of damage. So they each take 11 damage. As this, and I will mark it on the map, becomes difficult terrain. Should be expanded, but I'm too lazy to draw more. So, it's 5 feet extra. But, that is it. Kier. Verban, you're on deck.
Kier is going to go back to the select tool. Oops. Going to move all of these. And I am going to
as I'm walking, pick a flower off my back that turns this like almost iridescent clear color as I pick one of the petals off and whip it back off my wand. And as I do, this like spectral, intangible whip-like thing reaches out towards the dragon, and I need a intelligence saving throw from it. Yeah, which is probably going to be no problem, but
that's a 6, but it's gonna choose to succeed.
it's going to use a legendary resistance.
Yep.
That's fine. That's one down, y'all. That's one down. It still takes half the damage from my 3d6. 5. So half a 7.
All right.
And as after they do that, they'll kind of. You've never seen Kier like not be as talkative, and yeah, they're kind of seeing red right now, but they will just kind of glance over towards Brodus and you look a little cold. And on that last syllable that accentuates, I'm gonna use my bonus action to just do a first level healing word. So you will get 6 points of health back.
Okay. Thank
That
you.
is my turn.
All right, Verban, you're up. Grok on deck.
What can I use crits for? Can I use it to like automatically success or succeed on
Attacks,
like-
skill checks.
okay. Like for lightning arrow, which is something you would have to succeed on. I can't use that.
So they would have to make the save.
That's fair. Okay. All right. Verban then is going to move his 30, which I think is right around there, I think. Because also he's not sure if he's going to have to shoot Brodus here in a second. And he is going to use, well, yeah. We're not going to use any crits just yet. So I will do 2 attacks and toss a lightning arrow onto one of them. So the first one is a plus to that. 24.
That'll hit.
Okay, and the second one's a 22.
That'll hit.
Okay. So then let's see. I did tack sharpshooter onto both. So total then is 84 points of damage. Well, I guess, okay, sorry. I'm doing this assuming that the dragon fails. So the dragon needs to do a dexterity saving throw based on the lightning arrow.
All right, that is a 19.
Okay, it does succeed then. So it is going to take half of that. So give me 1 second to
No worries.
math. But basically, so he has moved, he's loaded his crossbow, even though he sees the skeletal hands. There's a couple of clerics. Maybe Karak can handle that one. But he is going to cock his first arrow and fire it. And then, okay, so that's 16. That's 9 plus 13 plus 10 plus. Okay, 68 points.
68.
damage.
All right.
So yeah, the second crossbow bolt is just like energized with that electric energy that he had put into the ballista and tries to fire it at the shiny bit on the dragon, the silver bit that's sticking out.
All right, Grok, you are up. Oh, wait. The dragon's going to make a attack. Because good old legendary actions.
Also, I have something that allows me to do something if it's lower than half its hit points.
It's not.
Okay, I figured. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay. I will let you know when it is below half.
Yeah, I figured with his like dragons as a favorite enemy thing, he might be able to determine that, but I don't mind rolling if need be.
Okay. So as you're quarrel, your lightning arrow kind of streaks through the air and slams into the side of this dragon. You see Iker slide off and explode from where the lightning struck it, and it kind of turns to face you and sweeps its tail, striking Philly for 17 damage.
Oof.
Grok, you are up.
He is going to step closer to get closer to Sinra, and also keep him in range of his guardians, which will only affect him on the dragon's turn at this point. And he looks up at the dragon and notices this crackling that Verban shot at, and just makes note of it. But he's going to raise his shield just high and says, "A blind dragon is an ineffective one." It's going to cast blindness, deafness. He needs to make a con save, please.
It's going to choose to succeed.
He's going to curse under his breath. This is dragons are always difficult, and that. He's going to That's it.
Okay. In response, it's going to use a legendary action to sweep its tail towards you. Does a 19 hit?
It does.
So it slams its tail into you, dealing 17 bludgeoning damage.
Cool.
And now we get to reroll and see if it gets its breath weapon back. It does! How joyous. So, as it's struck by you, for the Guardians, at the start of its turn, it has to make a save.
Wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Well, that's a 2. No matter what its wisdom score is, it's not going to save.
It will take 3d8 necrotic. Oh, those are just loveliest of.
Oh,
of
no!
rolls.
Oh, I'm
And
so
it bypasses
sorry.
necrotic if he has resistance.
That's a 1 in 40,000 chance. Just so
I love it. It's it's the egg fight. I love it. It
God.
works.
He
That's
just rolled
rough.
3 1s on
works.
3d8. Yeah.
Oh, that hurts
beautiful.
my
Wow,
soul.
Zadar, you have a crit,
Oh.
by the way, from chat.
As you strike it, it lifts its wings up and pushes from the ground, taking to the air. Sinra, Philly, Millie, you can all make attacks of opportunity because it is leaving.
How high is this cavern? Ish.
It's like 80, 90 feet at
Got
the
it.
center. Around the edges, it's like 40.
Does a 19 hit?
A 19 will hit. Just barely.
That's going to be 11 slashing
All
with a
right.
magical weapon.
Noted. And for the two dwarves, an 8 and a 19, they will get one hit. For 7 slashing. And it is going to land right there. Right there. And it is going to let loose a breath weapon. Once more. I need Philly, Millie, Gawain, Garak, and Sinra to make dex saving throws.
Karak, you have +3.
Yes.
That's gonna be a fail from me, champ.
All right. I'm gonna use the last crit for one of the dwarves. So Millie is going to get a 20 with the last dwarven crit, and then Philly and Gawain a 2 and a nat 20 for. Okay, Philly saves with a nat 20, and Gawain fails. Well,
17.
17. That will fail. So, those who fail take 57 cold damage. Those who succeed take half, so 23. Philly is blasted back, along with Millie. Both of them bloodied and cut in several places as like icicles have sprayed up. So like as its maw kind of lifts up from where it's supposed to and it kind of sprays outwards, the cold erupts and then icicles follow. And you see Gawain pierced by 6-foot-long icicles, just like javelins, stabbing through chainmail, and you just see him hanging, impaled, and dead. And Zadar, it's your turn.
They're doing great. Just gonna keep going. I mean, it seems to be ignoring me, so that's what I like. I'm gonna go. Zadar's gonna continue over to the other side of the cavern towards this like little portal thing. And now that I'm really close to it, I don't know. Is there anything like obvious happening with this swirling magical mess?
Roll me an Arcana check.
You got it, bud. You know, I came really close to taking the skilled feat and picking Arcana, and then I was like, nah, that's dumb.
I'll never have to do this.
But I got a 17.
Not
so
bad, not
that's
bad.
good.
So, as you approach this circle, as you get close to it, you can see runes carved in the stones in a circle around this glowing purple mist that seems to be roiling with magical energy. It seems to be refracting from the mirror. So the mirror seems to be like focusing the magics into the pool. But not, I don't think you're too certain of what type of magic it is or what it could be capable of doing, but it definitely looks like something you could harness if you were to go in.
It's easier to harness if I were to go. I don't like when magic things are happening. I'm going to use my action to dash because I need more speed. More speed, unless I use my action to make the Arcana check, which
I'll call it a
would be
freebie.
fair.
I'll be nice.
Call it a freebie. Dope. Sweet. So I'm gonna dash. I'm gonna get up to the mirror and use my bonus action, if necessary, to get my. I assume I have like a blanket or I guess a bedroll would work for this. I want to cover the mirror.
Okay.
Just want to just put something over and see if that does anything.
So as you cover the mirror up, the pool grows still. It is still there, but it is no longer being held, so it may not be there for long.
Does it? So is the mirror just so on the Roll20 map? There's a picture of like a person holding the mirror up, like a statue holding. Is that what is happening?
Yeah.
There's like a statue holding the mirror.
Mhm.
Does it? So it doesn't look like it'd be easy to dislodge this mirror and like pick it up and go somewhere
Probably
else.
not. This thing
Yeah.
is big enough that you can walk into the mirror, so.
Right. I'm not super duper strong. Great. Well, I have 15 feet of movement left. That seems to be good, I guess. Yeah, so that's action, bonus action. I have 10 more feet of movement. I'm gonna go up behind the mirror to the like rocky ledge that it is near. It's like almost backed up against. And I'm just gonna kind of press myself up against the rocks and hope I did something helpful.
All right.
Graham, we
Yes.
have a special from Shadow Sylvia.
Oh, do we? Oh, Shadow subscribing. Who would like to roll the D100 for me? It can't be Brodus, because Brodus got the last one. Or it can't be Kier. Kier got the last one.
Sure, I'll do it.
All right, Brodus. You might need it.
Hmm. 6.
God. Oh, gosh. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Okay. 1 sec. Give me 1 second to think how this
Uh-huh.
happens.
Yep. Got it.
All right. So, the Brodus, as you're kind of
Yep.
sloshing through the ichor, you feel, for some reason, the dying glint of the mirror's refraction of the magic behind you. And as the mirror is covered, a thin, almost like an arrow shot out, jolts out to strike you. You regain 1d12 hit points every turn for the next minute.
Oh.
I survive.
Holy shit. Well, that's a 2, so we'll start with 2 on my next turn. It's fine.
And speaking of Brodus, you're up.
Yep. So I got my 2. That was great. You know, I loved it. I am going to move all the way to the gate.
Okay. Roll me a
And
perception
being
check.
that... Okay.
Before you even get there, this is a freebie.
9.
Looks like a door, man.
The door. And it's got weird things reaching
Yeah, there's
out of
definitely
it.
weird things on the other side of it, but you can't make out. It could be dwarves. Could be your patron. I don't know.
I am not even gonna guess. Being that the dwarven statues are the ones that were holding it shut, and the dragon was at once chained up, Brodus is going to make the assumption, which could make an ass out of me, that whatever is on the other side is not great. So he is actually going to stand in front of the door, and I want to cast fear. So 30-foot cone in front of me, so basically anything that I can see between the cracks 30 feet in front of me.
Oh.
Through the door. I want to must make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. I didn't see this coming. Alright. You see these creatures. You don't even know what they are, let alone what they look like as you cast a spell. And you see several of them, their hands recede. They have these like clawed, scabbed hands that are dark like a night sky. And they recede from the door for the moment, and you hear them, some of them rescind elsewhere. But several stay. And almost at the taste of your magic, begin to push on the door. And you feel and see the statues begin to shudder under each press.
Yep, I'm just gonna stay and keep working on it. So.
All right, Sinra, you are up.
Okay, you said it's flying now?
Yes,
So how high up?
about
would
20
that
feet.
be? Poop. All right. I would like to. Check distance on this. Yeah, I can't do that. Okay. I would like to make it roll a wisdom saving throw.
That is a 8. It's gonna
That
choose to
would be a
succeed.
fail. Okay.
That is
All
the
right.
last legendary it has.
Then it shrugs it off as Sindra calls up at it. Get back here! It would have been a compelled duel, but oh well.
You can't tell a dragon what to do.
She can try.
Hey, this thing's egotistical enough. It would have burned. Even if I knew it, I would have burned it.
No.
Nobody's telling me
It's
what
like
to
a
do.
cat.
I will, however, take off 2 of my javelins and chuck it at it.
All right.
Same thing I do with my cat.
Oh!
Fucking
Concerned.
javelins at it.
It doesn't snuggle. I mean, what are you supposed to do?
Sounds like you're having a snuggle struggle.
I'm assuming a 21
That'll
hits. Okay, because I rolled 2 21s.
All right.
These are my +1 javelins, so they are magical.
Okay.
That will be 7 damage and 10 damage. Woo.
17 damage. Admirable. Could have killed a goblin with that. All right, which brings us to the dwarves' turn. Millie and Philly are still being grabbed by skeletal hands. Millie is able to break free and, with their minuscule amount of movement, get out of the acre that has like these hands grabbing. And she slaps a hand on herself and uses all 20 points of lay on hands that you taught her. Philly is stuck. Let's roll for Tori. Tori is somewhere, doing something. I don't know. And Lurbeline is the only one that's got an action left. And she's exactly 25 feet away. So she runs in, seeing Gawain killed, and is going to make a melee attack. That's cocked.
Isn't the
what?
dragon 20 feet up?
Oh, shoot. Never mind, she's gonna reload her crossbow. That's what she's gonna do. And that is going to end her turn as well. Alright. Then this goes away. Oh.
So that other dwarf is just like straight up dead.
Straight
Like,
up dead.
no save. Okay.
You ain't bringing him back. He's an NPC.
Saves me a spare the dying, I suppose.
And as the dragon kind of looks up, it conjures this darkness. So Verban and Kier, you are suddenly thrust into unnatural magical conjured darkness.
1 second, sorry.
I think daylight
No,
should be able to break that.
I think it should. Let me just double check.
It depends on the level of darkness that you're throwing
that's
at.
right.
3rd level or lower, no darkness.
If any of the effects area overlap with the area of light... Oh, yep. You're right. Yeah, so it would be dispelled by the daylight. So we're gonna just bloop. It tries to do that and then fails.
And it's artificial sun.
And that brings us to Kier.
Question, Graham.
Sure. Potential
Can
answer.
I use a crit to make this dragon fail a saving throw?
No.
I asked the same
You
thing.
won't allow that?
No.
No?
I also wanted that.
Hey, there's a limit to
Good
how
try.
nice I am.
Okay.
So you get to go up
I'm-
and you're like, I'm gonna feeble mind the enemy. Nat 20, they
I'm-
fail.
I wasn't going to do anything like that. We don't have anything like
I
that
know.
yet.
I just set a
as someone who
precedent
played a
now,
wizard
though.
with crits,
Okay.
wizards with crits are so rough.
So, I'm still going to try this anyway. Kier is going to grab a flower off her back that is going to turn a golden yellow and is going to tap it with her wand and fling it out towards the dragon as it unfurls into these golden tendrils of energy. And I need a strength saving throw for the dragon.
Boy, howdy. Okay. All right. That is a 18. 12 plus 6.
Fudge. Okay. That succeeds. Mark that off. And then she is just going to 20, 25, 30, trying to keep a wide berth from everybody else, and that is her turn.
All right, Verban, you are up.
Okay. Yeah, this feels like a good distance from everyone. Hopefully, it's still enough range to hopefully revive anybody. Kind of worked for the most part in the last turn, so he's going to do another couple of crossbow bolts and toss a lightning onto one of them. So I'll need another dex save.
18 plus 2.
I'll do
30,
it.
20.
Okay. So half damage then. This is going to take... oh, that's right. I put 2 crits onto the crossbow, the regular crossbow attacks. So all in all, that is 78 points of damage.
It is bloody.
Cool. Is that half? What is bloodied to you?
Half.
Okay.
After taking that damage.
Okay. Then I am going to... This is kind of like a free thing, but it's a feature of Knowles. I am going to use my... What is it? Blood Frenzy? Yes. So I gain advantage on all attacks, as long as it is at 0 or half hit points or lower, but I can only attack that.
Okay. Garak, you are up.
After taking that last hit, he sees Sinra, mostly Sinra, and a couple other dwarves around him take a considerable amount of damage. He's gonna he hasn't done this yet. He's gonna like swipe his claw across his shield, and he's going to speak words that normally you would hear from a cure wounds, but he's actually going to envelop and expand that out to a mass cure wounds of the 2 dwarves, myself, Sinra, and actually all 5 of us around me in a 30-foot radius or 30-foot diameter. And that is going to be 8 plus 8, 16 each.
All right.
And he is going to let's see. He's going to shift over a little bit to the east, roughly about there.
Okay.
It's gonna speak out. This is to Sinra. It says, "You will not die this day. Keep going." And now Lannister.
All right. I don't get my breath weapon back. Sad. The dragon swoops down 10 feet and flies towards Brodus and the door.
Oh no.
Oh no, indeed. Brodus. Does a 21 hit you?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You take 15 piercing damage and 4 cold damage.
So 19 total.
So 19 total.
Okay.
Has Brodus attacked yet?
It's been over a minute since Sanctuary went on.
I guess. Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
Because we're on round
Okay.
4 of combat.
That's like
Yes, it's only.
I did cast
It's
it
funny,
24
yeah.
seconds.
Yeah, and you cast it in before you had
when we were
even
at the
gone
top
in.
of the
Yeah.
stairs. It was
Yeah,
before we even
like,
got into the
It's
ziggurat.
definitely been more than a minute at that
Yeah.
point. But then as it slashes and bites at Brodus, it then turns towards Verban. And it's going to make 2 claw attacks. And the second one's going to be a nat 20. I'm not even going to roll.
Just FYI,
Yes.
I was not tracking the same hit points on both Roll20 and D&D Beyond, based on D&D Beyond. Because of the previous fight, I am down.
Good to know. So on your turn, you will make a death saving throw.
Yep.
All right. So does a 22 hit you for the first attack? Yeah. All right. 14 slashing damage. Then for the second one, I'm just going to roll it again and then just double it. 24 slashing damage.
Okay.
And that will end its turn. Vinny.
For me. All right, so as I can see all this happening, because there's still daylight up. I hope maybe. I
You
guess.
need to make
Yeah,
concentration.
daylights.
Okay.
It's not even concentration. It just is.
Oh, dope.
Awesome.
Love it. Yeah, so he sees Burrs just got tore up, which happens frequently. So Zed, who was getting ready to go stab the dragon, goes like, "Son of a bitch, God damn my niche." And then he goes over, he sprints over, uses a bonus action to dash 60 feet, and takes out I don't know, he very quickly uses his healer feat ability, takes out some triage kit shit from his healer's kit and bandages him up, and then like slaps him in the face to wake him up, and heals him for some amount. For 10 plus what is it? What are we, level 12? So 22 HPs. And says, "Get back in there.
Okay.
Get out, move." And then still invisible, by the way, like he hasn't attacked or cast a spell, unless you want to count that slap.
Nah.
But and then he just kind of fucks off to go to like the other side of this door that has evil inside it, apparently.
Yeah.
He's just kind of watching that warily. But that's it. Action, bonus action, movement.
All right. The dragon's going to make a wing attack. For Ben, I need a dexterity saving throw from you.
Boy, howdy, can I do that? Boy, howdy, I'm going to use a crit.
All right. As it buffets its wings, you are able to avoid it. Being knocked
Not a
down
crit.
into the acre. Brodus, you're up.
Bros, upon getting health and feeling a invisible slap, kind of snaps back and is like, "The hell happened?" And stands up, sees the door, and it's still not shut, and wants to use fear once again to continue to try and close it.
So it is shut. It looks like something has ripped part of the door open. So it's not something that
Alright.
can be pushed
Alright.
shut. It's like something
So-
has pried its way out. Or
To
is trying to.
still push everything back.
Okay. It's a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
1 fail. 2 fail. 4 fail. Okay. You cast a spell and even more of the fingers recede, but there seem to be 3 that still persist. Slamming at the
Okay.
door. And you know what? I actually have to roll something for the door. Okay. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Alright, Sinra, you're up. Dwarves on deck.
Okay, is it on the ground? It's
10
been attacking.
feet off the ground.
Mm,
Enough for a glaive.
Yep.
but I don't have a glaive.
But you did.
Nope, I have a double-bladed
Weird.
scimitar. It's 5 feet.
That's okay. Yeah, in my head, that's.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Just jump.
I will... If you want to do a running jump
Yeah.
and do an athletics check, I will let you do that and make 1 melee attack.
Come on and slam if you want to jam.
Yeah.
Yeah, dunk on him.
So that'd be my trade-off. Does Sinra got ups?
Ask myself that every day.
I will charge towards it. However, I will not be doing that. I would like it to roll a... Oh. You know what? Fuck it, I will do that. Okay. You said an athletics check?
Yep. We'll call it a DC 17. Athletics check.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, that's a 22.
Alright. Make your melee attack.
Okay. I would like to bonus action activate Spirit Shroud. Attack will be 26.
That'll hit.
Cool. Yeah, okay. That is 17 damage.
Alright. In
She,
return, does an 18 hit you?
no.
It tries to swing its tail and hit you, and it misses. Anything else, Sinra?
No, she will roll up next to Verban, like literally roll, because she jumped and then kind of rolls and gets up to her feet. Back
Alright.
up, I'll cover you.
It's okay. Verbatim's like holding on bits of himself. That was very impressive.
Does he like not look great?
Like less than 50%. If this was a test, I'd be failing.
Lurbeline can't reach, but she loaded her crossbow, so Lurbeline's gonna fire her crossbow, and she rolls a 2. It goes wide.
Get good, noob.
Alright, what do I want to do for a lair action? I know what I want to do for a lair action. I want Philly, Lurbeline, Millie, and Garak to make a wonderful Constitution saving throw. As the skeletal hands begin to reach out and erupt underneath the ichor, grabbing and pulling. Garak, you save. Lurbeline fails. Millie fails. Philly saves. Okay. And they take 3d6. Okay. As Millie and Lurbeline both take 7 bludgeoning damage. You know, I think that's where we're going to end tonight, is at the top of the round with Kier. How's that sound, everybody?
You're just delaying the inevitable, but that's fine.
All I need is that breath weapon one more time, baby.
Can I get one? I did the math already.
What's the math?
Okay, so if you succeed on the roll, it's going to be 68. If you don't, it's going to be 58.
Okay. 58 or 68?
Yeah.
All right, what is the save?
DC 15 dexterity.
Okay. That is a... What is my dex? He has a +2 to... +2 nonsense. Okay. That is a 12.
Okay, so 68. Mostly lightning damage.
Oh.
Straight up this thing's cloaca.
And this is from what?
This is from 2 crossbow bolt attacks and a lightning bolt tacked onto it.
Oh, on your turn, or...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If we got to Verban's turn, that's what I did the math on.
Okay.
Is the full attack.
Make a note so that in 2 weeks you can just say 68.
Fine.
Because I'm not going to apply it right now.
Depending on what Kier does,
Might be dead. Maybe.
That's full dragon right there. Maybe.
That's assuming this thing isn't in phases.
Yeah.
You have failed to see my final form.
All right, so I'm gonna put some nice happy music. As much as I want to play a dragon all day, every day, which I do, because why wouldn't you? Hey friends, it's me, Graham, your lovely, fantastic, wonderful friend, and your wonderful DM tonight. I had the pleasure of playing a dragon, which was fantastic because this was the first dragon I got to be a DM of that didn't die in 2 turns. So thanks to you retweeting, you saved a dragon's life. So really, thank you, chat. But as always, our time has come to a close here at Graham Crackers. Thank you for the wonderful inspirations, crits, and warm wishes and warm feelings that you shared with us as we made memories together. I am joined by a spectacular cast who need no introduction, but I want to give them a chance to say farewell for the night at least. So if I could hear who they are, where we can find them, and what projects they're working on, so that you can support these wonderful friends in any way you can, I would be most obliged.
Hello, I'm Truk. I go by most social medias by the same tag. No big news at the moment. Just loving life and playing here every 2 weeks and played some home games of my own, and they're pretty fun. And that's it. L.
Yeah, I'm El, and I played Kier, the Turtle Wizard Druid. You can find me everywhere and anywhere as L Street Gaming on the Twitches and Twitters. Mostly you can find me in the Free Forge Discord, where we are producing new content and trying to find and get more stuff going on. I have a bunch of stuff coming up, but I can't talk about any of it. And maybe next year we'll talk about it, but not this year, because I don't feel like it. So, Derek, go for it.
Yeah, okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Derek Sword. I played Verban, who is a gnoll. He's a ranger. He's a grave cleric. He's lots of things. Yeah, if you want to find me and more of my projects, the best place is Twitter at dsword16. Most of my projects are on hold or hiatus right now. So in the meantime, I'm here every other Tuesday. And I'm also here on Fridays for Goldshine Investigation Agency, where I play a swampy bugbear named Griaz. But in the meantime, if you really miss me and my voice, there's plenty of VODs and podcasts and other things out there with my face and voice and stuff on them. I highly recommend Monster Crush. It's a podcast that I do with my friend Heavenly. We talk about monsters we want to smooch. So if you like cryptids, it's great for that. If you're more of an oceanic kind of fella, There's Horizon's Call, which you can find on YouTube under Eva Sarate's channel, or some of the VODs are also on Eva Sarate's Twitch. And that's an Oceanic campaign that's coming back in a couple of months. So look forward to that. But in the meantime, I'll hand it off to Fox.
Hi, I'm Fox, or TTRPG Fox. You can find me here every Tuesday. Normally, I would like to talk about things, but actually, I want to put some time to something that is not made by me, but made by a lovely friend of mine. If you are a GM, no matter what level, new, GM who's done it for a while, check out, let's look at this, the Game Master's Book of Holding. It is a wonderful resource that has sheets for NPCs, character, story arcs, session notes, really everything you need to keep your notes all together, because, well, I'm not the best at taking notes as a GM myself, and so I need an extra tool. But this one's made by a lovely friend of mine, and it is actually for sale on Amazon. So definitely check my tweets. I have a link to that. And yeah, if you're looking for something, this is definitely worth picking up. So that is my time. I'll pass off to Pharaoh.
Hi guys, I'm Pharaoh. I played Sooner today. You can catch me also on Fridays, where I play Utaka, a Water Genasi cleric rogue. As we are approaching the end game in that campaign, we just figured out who our big bads are. Our paladins are going to their homeworld to get the sword of their dead father. We're about to cure a swamp. Yeah, it's weird stuff, but we're leveling rapidly towards the end game. I am in a couple other projects, although they're not, they're a bit more offline. I am open to campaigns on Saturdays or Sundays, so if anything like that is, you need some players, I'd be interested. Other than that, I'm good, so off to you, Vinny.
Hi, Vinny. I played Zadar, the rogue, who covered the mirror with a blankie. I will. What did I mention last time? I don't know what D&D. I've been playing so much Elden Ring. I forgot about D&D stuff. What have I been doing? I'm going to say no more things. Off to you, Graham.
Thanks, Vinny. So I'm Graham once again. I was your DM tonight. But outside of this, you can catch me every Friday playing Gaheris Nervos Blackmont, your Tiefling Oath of Conquest Paladin, or maybe not Oath of Conquest anymore. Who knows? But you can find me every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard here, or you can find me on Mondays at 7:30, 8 o'clock, give or take, for MMO Mondays, where I play some game with friends. Sometimes I just don't play because I get too distracted by my friends, and then I forget to hit start stream. But outside of that, on Tuesdays, every Tuesday, I am here. Next week we'll be in Anarion's Rest, and they are also going into their big bad fight, which is crazy. I get to kick the butts of all my players for 4 weeks. It's phenomenal. But I have the luxury of doing that. We are opening casting for other DMs for the channel. If you have a story that you want to tell, or you know someone that has a story that maybe is looking to make some memories with new friends, we highly, highly, highly recommend that you fill out the form, which closes on March 19th in 18 whole days. But here at the channel, we're all about, making friends and long-lasting memories, and I can think of no better place to bring people together in the world than Zoom calls and playing D&D. So I'm very, very thankful that I get to spend the 4 hours or 3 hours with all my wonderful friends. Outside of that, you can find me on Twitter at GrahamCrackers1, or you can find me here, or you can find me on Discord, which I just changed my Discord name to Graham Crackers, which is crazy. I didn't tell anyone until just now. Because I was sick of people forgetting what my username was, and then I messaged them, and they're like, who are you? And I'm like, Johnny, we went to college together. How can you not remember? And they're like, I don't. But anyways, that's enough for me. I'm looking to be in new projects for the 2022 or 2023 year, because I like not being a producer sometimes. But that's all out of me. We're going to do some raiding tonight, so let's spam some Graham love. We're going to raid our good friend Critical Bard, who... Whoops. No one saw that. But no one saw that. We're going to raid Critical Bard, who's playing some Dead by Daylight, spam some love, and let him know that, you know, great friends are always around. Until next time, stay happy, stay healthy, and bye for now. See you later, friend.